We're continuing our coverage of the BLM's attempted land grab here along the Red River. And one of the things we learned this weekend over here in Senator Craig Estes' office is the Boy Scouts, the Northwest Texas Council of Boy Scouts, is directly affected by this, owning about 400 acres in the path of the BLM's view of the land that they want to take. We're with Wayne Mansur, who works as the director of the Northwest Texas Council of Boy Scouts. Thank you very much for coming to talk to Breitbart, Texas today.
Thanks, Bob. I appreciate the opportunity to share a little bit about what we're seeing happening at the Northwest Texas Council of the Boy Scouts.
400 acres of land, and the BLM is looking at 170 acres of that. What would that do to your operation of the camp that you have up there?
You know, if they took what we call our field area, the lower portion of our camp, it shut it down. There's not any other place for us to be able to move to conduct the training that we do. That is our outdoor classroom. That's where we take young boys to teach them about STEM, the science, the technology, the engineering, and the math. And you know, most people go out there and they fire off a gun, they think they're just having fun shooting a gun. We teach the boys about science that's involved with that. We teach them about the technology that's involved with that. So we take ordinary things that we do as people, and we help the children to learn to apply that to their everyday life. If the BLM were to shut that down and retake that land that they would claim for whatever reasons belongs to them, we would have to shut down the camp. We'd have to look for a camp somewhere else. And there's no better place to have a camp than where we've got it, and had it since about 1924.
So almost 100 years, 90 years ago you established this camp. Never heard a word from the BLM about being on their land or anything like that.
No signs are posted that this belongs to anybody other than the Boy Scouts. That is correct.
Now, how did you find out that this part of your land is under review at this point?
The BLM came around this past fall. They made some comments and asked for time to meet with citizens. One of our dear friends, Jimmy, who lives in this area that's going to be impacted by them, called me, and we visited at length, and I'm going, Jimmy, I've never heard anything about this. Can you give me some more details on it? I've been studying it recently, and it's quite intriguing that they did not tell us to stop using their land if it was their land. We Boy Scouts don't take land that's not rightfully ours. We've got deeds to it. We've mortgaged property that's on it. We have built all kinds of improvements, literally a few $1 million of improvements that we put to this. No one said a word to us. I do understand that there was a case that was brought several years ago, a court case on this matter. It was resolved. I understand that BLM appealed it and that it got settled by a higher court. And so at the end of the day, I don't know why they're resurrecting this, what we believe to be dead issue, and coming back to discuss it again now.
In 2000, the states of Texas and Oklahoma came to a resolution that said the southern vegetation line is basically the boundary. And that line moves as the river ebbs and flows and changes through erosion and flooding and all that type of thing. But 140 acres, that's not just a vegetation line shift. That's a pretty massive amount of land.
Yeah, from what we are told, they will take the highest water mark that the floodwaters have ever achieved out of the Red River. And that would come up covering all of our field area where our training facilities occur. And all of that would go away. In fact, we just got through spending this weekend, we had our Wood Badge project going on, about 36 adults that are learning how to better communicate with the youth and the parents of our youth today. And we built a stage, and we intentionally built that stage so it would be above the water mark, not because of this BLM matter, but just the fact that we want to protect those things that we do build on that area. And I looked across the field and saw everything that we would lose. I was devastated, Bob. It's remarkable how much we would lose. And if the federal government thinks they own this, I wish they had told us that back in 1924 and told us to get off their land then, because we really believe that through adverse possession, if through no other reason that we own that property, we believe that there's no good use for that property. You could not do much cattle grazing in that area or anything else in that area if they were to take it back. So here's the next question. Federal government, if you get it back, what are you going to do with it? What better facility, what better use of a facility than to teach the youth how to be trustworthy, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, thrifty, clean, brave, and reverent. Why would we want to eliminate a classroom to teach kids to become corporate citizens, good fathers, good husbands? And this is a beautiful place for teaching our kids these things. I don't know what the government would use it for. I wonder if they've got a better use for that piece of land.
I can't imagine. I just cannot imagine. And the other thing is, how would they get to the land on top of that? How many Boy Scouts are we talking about being affected here? How many people do you run through this camp over an annual basis?
We have over 500 volunteers that help us to run our program. We will have between 1,500 and 2,000 youth in our local council, but it's a common occurrence for us to attract individuals from the Abilene Council, the Amarillo Council, the Duncan Council. Other councils tend to use our property just as we use their property, because they'll have a program going on that will enhance the things that they're trying to do.
So 2,000 of the local youth plus the visiting people that come in from other
That's correct.
councils. That's a devastating blow, I think, to youth education, and the impact on young people would be dramatic, I think.
Yes, yes. You'd be taking away the entire course area for conducting a lot of the good that goes on through Boy Scouts.
Texas Attorney General Greg Abbott and Senator Ted Cruz have both written to the BLM asking them for clarification and basically standing up for Texans like yourself and the rest of us who are impacted by this. What are your thoughts on their actions and what they're doing with that?
I love General Abbott. He's my Attorney General. He's going to stand behind us. He understands what we're trying to do with this. Rick Perry's an Eagle Scout. He heard what's going on and he took a firm stand. We are Texans. We don't mean to be arrogant about that. We just simply know that we are called to a calling to stand fast and to do what is right. And it's beyond our understanding where BLM thinks that this is the right thing to do. I love the fact that my elected officials are standing up for our rights, and they are doing the things that we need to do to continue to achieve the mission of the Boy Scouts.
Mr. Mansur, I appreciate the time that you've taken to talk to us here at Breitbart, Texas today, and we will continue to follow this issue through to its resolution and make sure, with everything that we can do, to help make sure the federal government does the right thing on this.
We appreciate the coverage that you're doing to make citizens aware. If the citizens become aware of this and they start talking about it more and more, BLM might come to understand that this is not the right move for them to take. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.